It is truly an honor to be invited to speak for this Small Farms event. My association with this university goes back for a lot of years. I obtained a master's degree in agricultural education and later studied school administration and received additional certification. I applaud this university for the great education that students are getting, and many have gone on to achieve great things in their professional lives. I appreciate the research being done, and I especially want to thank the College of Agriculture for the work being done with small farms throughout the year, and Small Farms Week being a highlight. Since 1929, the North Carolina State Grange has advocated for agriculture in rural North Carolina. The officer installation ceremony in our organization includes this statement: "Since God placed man on earth, agriculture has existed." It is my belief that it is man's responsibility to take good care of the soil and water. Through research programs, this is what A&T has helped us to do. Advances in agriculture continues, and through the university, farmers are trained on how to implement those advances. Even though agriculture has come a long way, we still have challenges. Animal agriculture is under attack by animal rights groups. All of agriculture is scrutinized by environmental interests. Some of these groups are well funded and can conduct extensive PR campaigns against our farmers. We depend upon land-grant universities to help gather the accurate facts so that we can defend agriculture and the great things that are being done on farms. Farmers have been known for a long time to be strong and resilient. But lately, the term resilience has become a much more noticed term and a major topic, particularly in connection with weather and the environment. How do we put farms in a position to be better prepared for weather disasters and help them to recover? Possible answers to this question are under study by a task force appointed by the governor. In addition, an organization called the North Carolina Foundation for Soil and Water Conservation is conducting a project to study how farms can become more resilient as a result of weather disasters. We look forward to the recommendations that come from these studies. How is climate change impacting agriculture, and what will agriculture need to do to help mitigate climate change? The new administration is very much about this issue, and farmers will be affected. A number of years ago, carbon credits were being discussed, but the concept has not grown into widespread usage. Now the discussion is returning, and there is some serious consideration being given to applying a carbon market to agriculture on a nationwide basis. We just do not know yet in what form, but the concept is to create a carbon bank from which farmers will be paid to adopt practices that will reduce carbon emissions into the atmosphere. Those practices likely would be in the form of efforts to conserve soil and water, reduce the use of agriculture chemicals and fertilizers, use cover crops, and reduce food waste as examples. Some scientists think that food waste is a significant problem because so much leftover food ultimately goes to landfills where methane is released as a result of the decay. We are already doing a good job with conservation practices in North Carolina, but we will see what comes down from the federal government in the form of new initiatives. It will not be surprising to see increased emphasis on using solar energy to power equipment on farms, including tractors. Electric tractors are also being developed. When they actually reach the market, cost will be a huge factor. Either companies will have to produce clean energy equipment at a reasonable cost, or the federal government will need to provide financial incentives so that farmers can afford to purchase this type of equipment. It will be vitally important that agricultural interests Work on behalf of farmers so that they can benefit from any new efforts that guard against concepts that could be harmful to farm businesses. If climate change mitigation leads to practices that will make farms more efficient and reduce input costs while enhancing production, it could turn into a blessing for producers and for consumers. We know that farmers have been and continue to be true environmentalists. Over the years, producers have adjusted their practices to do a better job of taking care of the soil and water, even before climate change was such a major topic. There is no doubt, however, that the government will expect more. The Grange is one of many groups in the state that are advocating for farmers. The good news is that these groups are united, and even if there is an issue on which we do not completely agree, we continue to work well together. We even refer to ourselves as being part of an agricultural community. So far, we have been fortunate to have bipartisan support for agriculture in this state, and I hope that continues. Even with these organizations working on behalf of agriculture, it is also important that we as citizens provide advocacy. Your representatives in Raleigh and Washington need to hear from you, and building a relationship with your elected representatives can be very helpful. For many years, the College of Agriculture at this university has been in the forefront of this great industry. Through research and education, A&T is a vital part of advancing agriculture, providing a quality education, and helping farmers in this state. Researchers at A&T are working on some great projects that could be of great benefit to all of us. Some examples: they're working toward moving the poultry industry away from the use of antibiotics. Studies are being done to determine if swine can be infected by people who have coronavirus. Ginger is being studied as a possible new profitable crop for farmers. A&T is doing their part in making hemp a profitable crop in the state. Small grains are being studied in an effort to enhance the nutritional value. The university is also studying stink bugs, thank goodness, cockroaches, and high tunnels, and reducing allergies in peanuts. These are just a few of the projects being done to make farms more successful. I want to say a few words about Dean Medna. I had the good fortune of serving as chair of the advisory board for the college when Dr. Medna was selected to serve as dean. We worked quite well together. He hit the ground running, and I've been very impressed with his abilities. Small farms are extremely important to North Carolina. You add a tremendous amount of diversity in terms of what is grown. Small farms are also a huge boost to the economy of our state. Living on a farm adds a lot of quality to your lives. I grew up on a farm, but chose a different career, but I still own a farm in Wilkes County. Sometimes I think it would have been nice to have raised my daughters on the farm, but it just did not work out that way. I admire those of you who farm, your way of life, your love for the soil, and the contributions you are making to your communities. North Carolina Grange stands ready to assist you in any way that we can. We are currently working with a group of organizations that are lobbying the General Assembly in support of funding for this college. In addition, we have a Grange member who is a student at A&T studying animal science that is doing an internship with us this semester. Her name is Zipporah Hayes, and we plan to engage her with the General Assembly in an effort to get the needed funding for the college. As an alumni and as president of the North Carolina State Grange, I very much enjoy the relationship with this university. If any of you are looking for an organization that advocates for agriculture and rural North Carolina, We always welcome new members and are open to all who share our mission. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak to you as part of Small Farms Week.